Good morning, Mayor Missy Waldman and Mayor Barry Glantz. Thank you for joining us this morning for our call.
Good morning.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Tom Lancia with the Creve Coeur-Olivette Chamber of Commerce. I am started as the new executive director there in November. So I am really excited to just take a few moments with both of you and to just check in with you and with the City of Olivette and the City of Creve Coeur. So just to start us off, we're obviously in a really unique time. It wasn't that long ago that we all were celebrating at our awards dinner, honoring our firefighters and our police officers for the good work that they do. And now we're all meeting virtually, so and keeping our social distancing. So, but right now, I just wanted to give you all an opportunity to just share anything that you'd like to share with our members and our community, and any updates that you feel would be relevant at this time. So,
all right.
Why don't I start with you, Mayor Waldman, and we will start there.
Okay, I thank you very much. It is much appreciated. Before I go into the happenings of Olivette, I want to give a couple recognitions. First off, I want to recognize all the first responders and the City of Olivette employees and management who continue to keep our city open and functioning. We are doing virtual community meetings. The Coffee with the Mayor the other day had the developer, Greg Gowitz, on. We have City Council by Zoom. We have Planning Community Design Commission meetings by Zoom. And when we begin to get back into our Prop C for our bond issue, that will be by some Zoom or virtual format. And we will be pushing that out to our citizens shortly, because the ability to have those things are not allowed within the public forum of more than 10 people. But as of now, we do still have a vote scheduled for June 2nd for everybody, whether you're council, whether you're county, whether you have your own individual city things on the ballot. So that is kind of where we are with regards to our new, as you say, protocol and virtual world. The second thing I want to recognize is the Honorable Barry Glantz. Barry Glantz has been the mayor of Creve Coeur for quite a few terms, and he has done a wonderful job with that city. We have worked very, very well together. I have high regard for Mayor Glantz, and in this position of mayor, you will be missed. I don't know who your predecessor will be. I do hope that they still have the same kind of mindset and focus that you represented so well on behalf of your city. So congratulations to you. You will be missed.
Thank you. Well, the talk of my demise is a little premature. I still do have one more year.
Oh, okay. I'm a little bit off on that. So thanks for that clarification. I apologize for that. I thought this was the term.
No.
All right. So Tom had asked that what do we have on any updates from our city that we think that you, the Chamber of Commerce folks, and our community citizens should be made aware of. As I indicated, even though we are dealing with this pandemic, development and all of that continues to move forward at Olive Crossing, which is the I-170 project that I mentioned with Mr. Yowitz, with our city center of the old city hall. That is Ridge House, and we will be doing final approvals of that plot, and they will be able to move forward on their project. We hope to see things possibly beginning in May. With regards to Dillman Road, phase 1 and phase 2, we are working on the finalized pavement of phase 1, and we will be moving forward with regard to Dillman Road phase 2. Our citizens should be on the lookout, as our communications director, Kiana Fleming, every day to push out information through our many, many formats of Twitter, Constant Contact, Facebook, Nextdoor. So those are the ways we're pushing out information. We have continued development going on with Plant Haven, which is where the old Ponderosa used to be. And we will continue to have the redevelopment over by the old Phillips 66 with regard to Firestone. We are also working and continuing to work with the Centennial Trail, connecting the sidewalks between City Hall and Creve Coeur and going on off to Westport Plaza. Our parks remain open. Again, our Planning and Community Design Development Department continues to review and approve plans and permits, and they are performing inspections. We do continue to receive applications for new homes. We are working with regard to our budget for fiscal year 21. While it is difficult to deal with the impact of the pandemic, we will have issues with regard to our sales tax receipts and operations. We do not anticipate any long-term layoffs, but we are critically reviewing expenditures to ensure our public that city services continue to be provided. On a cool story, I'd like to sit there and give kudos to our Parks Department and our staff there. We have a really awesome, cool virtual community center and how it is keeping our people connected to community, and it is connected to our Olivet website. We have a dining guide that is done by our planner, Jonathan Roper. It identifies the restaurants in our community, and it identifies their open hours for drive up and pick up your goods. Our restaurants are not closed, but they are practicing the distancing that is being requested for the social distancing practices. And with that, I kind of feel that we've pretty much met all of the what's happening now with regards to the city of Olivet. And I will gladly turn that back over to you, Tom, for the Mayor Glantz to be able to kind of talk about his community.
Yes. Thank you very much. And, you know, we are really blessed because both of you have such a great history with both of your cities. You both have been mayors, city parish councils, and just been really invested. And you guys are recognizable, just comfort as well as leadership in your communities and our cities. And so now I want to turn to you, Mayor Glantz, if you could share with us, with our members and our community.
Tom, thanks so much. Thanks for putting this together. I think it's a great idea. These strange times certainly require some thinking outside of the box, so to speak. And this is a great idea. Thank you also to Mayor Waldman for the very kind words. I have been mayor for 8 years and have one more year left, but I've thoroughly enjoyed my time and hope to still have an impact in this last year. The city of Creve Coeur, similar to the city of Olivet, is open for business, albeit a little bit differently. Most of our employees are working remotely. All of our meetings are virtual meetings done online. It would be irresponsible right now for us to bring people together as much as we preach about community involvement and whatnot. Bringing people together right now is just not the right time. That being said, as I mentioned, the city is open for business. Our government center has limited access, although public is still has in our lobby area. There's direct access to just about every city function that we have. Our parks are open. Our golf course is open. Our ice rink is closed. The golf course, interestingly enough, has been a real bright spot with this nice weather. It is getting a lot of use, albeit walking only, with appropriate social distancing. All of our meetings are done virtually. City council, planning and zoning, all committee meetings are meeting regularly. I have canceled and or postponed my coffee with the mayor, my monthly coffee with the mayor. Again, just because I think it's irresponsible to bring people together right now. Interestingly enough, our police department was asked to participate in a virtual parade in the Country Forest subdivision recently, which was a nice break for everybody. I think people are a bit stir crazy and looking for outlets to connect with their friends and neighbors. And Country Forest came up with a really nice virtual parade a couple weeks ago, and they had asked the police department to participate. Our police department is functioning perfectly. They've split a number of shifts. We're doing as much as we can virtually, and limiting access to other employees. Similarly, with our public works department, we've split shifts so it minimizes the impact that employees can have on each other. The big project that a lot of people in Creve Coeur are talking about is a proposed quick trip at the corner of Grazer Road and Olive Street Road. That application was received by our planning and zoning department a few weeks ago. They are continuing their analysis of that, and then we will begin to hold public meetings and public hearings in regard to that project. I don't anticipate that will start to happen until the end of May or the beginning of June, and we will look at various means to make sure that the public has full availability and full right to completely vet that project before the Planning and Zoning Commission, and then before the Creve Coeur City Council. So our biggest challenge for the city, our fiscal year begins July 1st. So now is the time that we begin to discuss our budget. And similar to Olivet, in most every municipality around the St. Louis region, our budget is going to be significantly impacted by the COVID-19 issue. If you drive up and down Olive Boulevard, we depend a great deal on sales tax. And if you drive down Olive Boulevard, not only through Creve Coeur, but Olivet, Olive Boulevard, and shopping centers and a business community alongside looks like a Sunday every day, and that will have a dramatic effect on our budget. It will be nearly impossible to accurately budget for a full year. We're looking at doing that quarterly or even monthly. We have not yet taken any steps to lay off or furlough any employees, and hope that is a decision of last choice. With that, I will turn it back over to you, Tom.
Yeah, and I think it's clear to see that this situation affects everyone personally and professionally in different ways, and we're taking it as we go along here.
The silver lining, if I can just add, the silver lining is that it hurts. It has a dramatic impact right now, but we all know that this is temporary.
Right.
Yes. And both the city of Creve Coeur and obviously the city of Olivet, we've tried to adapt. We try and remain flexible, and we try very, very hard to make sure that our residents, the citizens of Creve Coeur and obviously Olivet, are served seamlessly while we do struggle with these challenges.
Right. Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I do. I think we always have to keep in mind that this is a time period, that will end, and just like any time, we will come out new people, but we will be here, and how we respond is important.
Right.
And with that, I always think it's important in times of difficulty or struggle to recognize the good present and around us. You know, I know personally, I've seen it even in my own house. Like my kids want to play with people, right? So now my son is making good friends with his sister, which doesn't always happen. They want to play, you know. But also in our communities, I have just you see pardon me, the good that's in our communities that are responding when it's hard to respond. And so I was wondering if you all could just excuse me, share some of your glory stories or situations that you've seen in your community where you've seen people making a difference, if that's with one person or a business or a charity or whoever that may be. And if I could start with you, Mayor Waldman. And
Sure. Sure. You know, I don't want to point out one person making a difference because I think it's more than one, and I hear you there. First off, I want to give praise to the employees and the management of the City of Olivet. They've truly done a phenomenal job, and just like Creve Coeur, they are working remotely. And I'm going to tout several things again. Our parks are open for you to walk your dog, yourself, and do something with respect to social distancing. Our playgrounds are off limits, but you know, we do still have our parks open, and we are a very blessed community with the fact that we have over 100 acres of parks within our community. And I'm going to again tout the fact that we have a virtual Parks and Rec webpage right now where you can go onto that, go take a tour of a zoo in San Diego, of the Vatican, you know, Northern Lights, the Yellowstone Park, many different things, games. And so while we are stuck inside, you know, our Park and Recs department are doing and creating things to help families deal with what are we going to be doing at home while we're home with our kids. So that is something that I can be very focused on and proud of and identifying. The other thing is that our police and our firemen are out there every single day, and I should say firemen / paramedics, because we are still hearing the sirens going. They are out there every day. They are dealing with practicing social distancing, and they are as well wearing their masks and dealing with safe interaction with those folks that they have to respond to. So I also want to give kudos to my fellow elected officials who we've all adjusted to dealing with this world in our meetings in an electronic format. So with that, you know, that's the way I see who's stepping out there. It is the businesses and the restaurants, Fallon's, Sugar Fire, Chevy's, things that are remaining open, Olivet Diner, they are all remaining open and dealing with call-ins, put in your order. So they are also to be recognized and given kudos to, as well as our staff that continually deal with the upgrade of information. My final kudos really is to our communications manager, Kiana Flemings. She has just done a phenomenal job. And if you see in the back of me, I'll bend over, you see that it says Olivet 90 years. We are still moving forward with a celebration of Olivet's 90th year. We are in the middle of creating a video. We have postponed the dinner, which, as we all know, was supposed to be this Saturday. We have not canceled things. We have postponed things. Party in the park for our community has been postponed. We're possibly looking at a newer date in July if the social distancing and lifting of stay at home and shelter has been lifted. And we are still looking at that opportunity on August 29th of everybody meeting at our city center and unveiling the new photograph on our history wall. So those are the things that to me are, here's the best and brightest shining on who should we sit there and give kudos to.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Mayor Glantz, if you could just share us some of the positive impacts you've seen during this time.
Boy, it's almost hard to follow that. But one of the things that I've noticed, um, my wife and I have been sheltering in place now. I guess it's 4, 6, 7, 8 weeks. We've taken our dog for more walks this year so that we can get out of the house a little bit. I think we're probably walking the dog more than he wants to be walked. But one of the things that I've noticed as we walk around our neighborhood, we've even made it to the dog park, walked to, when we've been really ambitious, walk to the grocery store. There are so many people out also walking on our sidewalks. And everybody is really, really friendly. It seems like there's a real strong desire for personal interaction and connection, albeit at social distancing recommendations. But there's an increased friendliness in the community. Not that the community wasn't friendly to begin with, but we see so many people out at the dog park, on our sidewalks, at the golf course, as I mentioned. As Mayor Waldman mentioned, our parks are open, our playgrounds are closed. But there's a great deal of social interaction going on simply on the sidewalks, at the dog park, on the golf course, outdoors in our parks. And it's curious, it's heartwarming to notice the increased friendliness. And I sometimes wonder why it takes a tragedy or some other threat to the routine of our daily lives to bring out the best in people. It's really heartwarming to see, and it's really been a silver lining for me personally in these strange new times, and I really enjoy it, the friendliness of neighbors and strangers alike. And that's what, to me, this is what community is all about. I'm sad that it takes such a dramatic change in our lifestyle to bring this out in people, but it's heartwarming to see. And as I mentioned earlier, I know that this is a temporary phase that we're all going through right now, but I certainly hope. And I'm optimistic that this new era of kindness, our lives will fill back up again once this pandemic is over. But I certainly hope that this new era of kindness is something that we can continue to embrace.
Yeah, I agree. And, I do think the generosity of our communities and of people will be rewarded. I think whether you believe that on a spiritual level or just on a human level, people remember when you were there for them. And,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and I think in this time, I think it's important for me. I want people to know that they are not alone in this struggle, and the chamber, our cities, our members, we are here for each other, and that is why we are here this morning, to remind you of that. I am encouraged by I have seen the stories of people reaching out to our nurses and first responders and all of that, but I also see them reaching out to the communities in unique ways every day, like doing collections and like you said, there's virtual social distancing parades, and people are engaged. They want people to know that they are being thought of and cared for. I think that's important. I think people need to know that this is a time period that we are working through together. And as the chamber, I want people to know that we are here for you. We feel that uncertainty, but we also are certain that this will pass. And I am also just encouraged by people's creativity in moving forward. They have been, from our religious services to
Right.
how our businesses are still continuing to function in unique ways. We've tried to post who's open and who's closed of our members on our website. We've created a new website to make it more interactive and share any new updates that people are doing. Like some of our members have started their own initiatives to promote each other. I think it's important people to realize too, as a local business, you care a great deal about the community because that your customer is your neighbor, is your friend. You are also shopping at their location, their place. And so you're not just caring for your, you're worried about your business, you care about your community. And so you see people trying to step up and take care of each other.
Tom, if I can add a little anecdote to that, and that's a great point. I got a letter from a new local Creve Coeur business, small business, who said they've been dramatically affected by the shelter in place. But they also told me, and they asked me to convey to our city employees and especially to our first responders that they were offering free car washes to the employees and the first responders of Creve Coeur, simply because even though they were being so dramatically affected, that they wanted to do their part, no matter how small or impactful, to help the community. And there's there are these kinds of heartwarming stories all over the place right now. And it certainly is, especially during difficult times, it's really nice to see what the community can do for each other.
And I want to caveat on that if I could.
Yeah.
Way back in the beginning, because I was actually on vacation. I went to spring training, was on the field for the very last day of a game that was played. COVID-19 resulted in us not being able to be as close to the players. We had to be 25 feet away, and they had this little barrier. And then coming back, and suddenly, on my birthday, as a matter of fact, going in at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to Schnucks, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, what am I coming back to? So it was really a very, very, very different world. And I want to give a little bit of kudos from a business that I heard from. Our city manager contacted the restaurants and the businesses and said, what can we do to help you keep your business open? And that was an outreach that what we heard back from the businesses was they were not getting those calls from the cities where their businesses were located in other municipalities. So the mindfulness of being connected and understanding, like the mayor, Barry Glantz, said, is the mindfulness of our businesses and attempting to work to help to keep them open and functioning was a very, very important thing that was recognized by management way back in the beginning. While I was on vacation, they were already dealing with what's going to happen. So kudos to the fact that we both in our communities are clearly focused on taking care and being a part and connected with the businesses and their success.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I want to just at this point, just thank you both for this time this morning. Thank you for your leadership, your just dedication to our communities. It really shows, and I'm excited to see also when we can get out our doors again and have a welcome back party. See some of these also new constructions that are being done and everything to enjoy our businesses the way we want to. We're still enjoying them the way we can, but I look forward to those days. But I thank you for this time this morning. Is there any last things you would like to share or say at this time?
Mr. Tom, I'm going to be respectful as Mayor Glantz has always been respectful, and you that ladies go first. I would be more than glad to say, Mayor Glantz, I will reverse this and allow you to go first. Go ahead.
I just want to thank the Chamber of Commerce. Tom, thank you for hosting this, for thinking outside of the box and putting this together. I always enjoy, you know, the new member breakfast and a number of other events that the chamber puts on. And so while we can't meet personally right now, thank you for your creative thinking and putting this event together. Thank you.
And Tom, as you mentioned, you've came on as the new director in November of 2019. I think you've done a wonderful job with the outreach. I know I gave you a little bit of a hard time when we first met. There's been some frustrating things in the past, but your leadership, to me, you've stepped up, and that is much appreciated. In this day and this time, I just want to say that we are in our community keeping connected through the community, through our parks, through people, and continue the progress of our community. And that is what is most important. And you allowing us to have this format today is much appreciated. And it was great seeing you, Mayor Glantz. It was great seeing you, Tom. Be safe, be healthy, take care.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you both. And thank you for your kind words as well. And I wish you all a happy, safe weekend as well. And we will be in touch soon. And I just encourage everyone who sees this call to just stay connected virtually. Check our websites. I do have all the links to the city's updates as well on our COVID-19 link on our website at ccochamber.com. Thank you again for this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Goodbye.
All right. Bye-bye.